Okay, so I have to document this because it's a loss of income. Um, Today, June 22nd, I was driving my work van, and I think they popped the tire probably 3 weeks ago. Uh, they've been attacking all of my vehicles for the past 3 months. So first they started off with my manual bike, and even now I think the front tire is like getting low on air. But every time I ride my bike, they hit it with the frequencies and direct the energy weapons. They track me via satellite, so I'm constantly being tortured by the satellite. Um, they destroyed my e-bike. Um, I had to purchase another fat tire, so I fixed them all at the same time. I already made that video. Then they blew the tire on my work van, so within a span of 2 months, or like a month and a half, 2 months, all three tires on every vehicle that I utilized blew at the same time. So now we finally got adjusted to the job. I'm managing my money for gas because I have to pay for the gas out of pocket, and that ranges between $250 to $300 a week that comes out of my pocket. But with the money that I'm now being paid, I was actually making enough to manage the money and get money to pay bills, um, and have savings as well. So as soon as that started happening, I started making plans to finally pay back the $1,555 that I owed to go back to school. And that was going to occur either next week or the week after next. So it was coming up. Long as I kept working and I kept doing my job, and this is what happened at the last job as well. As soon as I got close to going back to school and being financially stable, all of a sudden there's a problem at the job, or there's a problem with the vehicle, or there's something going on. So now the situation is the vehicle. I was doing absolutely nothing wrong. I was on time for all my clients as per usual. Now the vehicle overheated. And one way that a vehicle can overheat by itself would absolutely, it didn't have any leakages. There wasn't fluid spewing on the ground. It's just overheated. I spoke to my client's husband, and he was like, "It's either the thermostat." Okay, sorry. So the video cut off because they're not allowing me to remove space from the computer. I've been trying to delete certain items, and they're not allowing me to delete those items for a while. But so I had to delete old videos that I had already uploaded. But anyway, I spoke to my client's husband. He said that it was either the water pump or the thermostat that was just going off. It cut off the steering. I had a client in the car, but I was like zero point 0.5 miles away from that client's house. So I still managed to run the car long enough to get the client home. The steering wheel had locked up, so I had to kind of like force it and turn it in the direction that I want to go until I got them safely to their house. And I was able to unload the grandmother back up into their driveway, unload the mother, and get her safely into the house. To which they were kind enough, because I had taken care of them before, to actually let me come in the house so that I wouldn't be stuck out in the hot sun. Because right now we're in Florida, it's 110 degrees outside right now. It's hot. Um, they were able, they were kind enough to let me come in. So immediately I called dispatch, and I let dispatch know. Dispatch is in Alabama. They couldn't do anything. They couldn't help. There was nothing that they could do. So they told me to call another co-worker who is probably possibly co-owner of the company, and he was on the phone and he couldn't do anything either. Plus, he was at the doctor's office with his girlfriend, and they were going through something there. So I tried immediately. I tried to call the CEO of the company. The CEO was not picking up the phone. Multiple phone calls, text messages, and left voicemails. And then I called the manager under her, which is her boyfriend. He didn't respond either. Nobody was responding. So I kept calling dispatch. Again, dispatch wasn't giving me any information on what to do. It came time for the daughter to leave the house because she had a prior engagement already scheduled, and I was not about to stay in the house with the client. The actual client was just the mother and her niece, who was taking care of the mother and helping her with the house. It is not unorthodox. It's just awkward. It's awkward, but that's another word I was looking for. Um, so they were gonna leave, but then they asked me, "Hey, do you want to ride home?" This is a free ride home. I asked them, did they want me to pay for gas or whatever. They told me no. We're just gonna take you home because you took care of us. And that's the level of my customer service. I always do my job. I always do what I'm supposed to do. They took me home, and the problem arose when I didn't leave the key for the van so that the tow truck can come pick up the van. I used to be a tow truck driver. You do not need a key to unlock or get access to the car, whatever. You don't need a key for that, but I completely understand they're going to want to work on the car. But I took the car for safety concern reasons. You leave a vehicle with the key in it, even though it's not working, that don't mean somebody can't get it working. And then next thing you know, vehicle is gone. It was in my head. It was simpler for me to take the key, safety. Somebody can come pick up the key. 9 miles away. Our whole job is driving, so I'm 9 miles away from where the car was left. So somebody could have easily came and got the key, which is exactly what occurred. One of the bus driver managers came and got the key, took the key back to the van so that the tow truck driver can have access to the van. Either way, in my opinion, I did everything correctly. But this is what happens when you're a targeted individual. Somehow, some way, shape, or form, it has to be your fault. They have to try to make you feel good, to make you feel like it's your fault. Make you feel like you did something wrong when in this situation it was uncontrollable, it's out of your control, and I did everything absolutely correct. Got the client to where they weren't stuck on the side of the road in a van, elderly woman in the heat in Florida in the dead of summer. And the client was grateful for that. She said, if we would have been stuck on the side of the road, I would have been pondering a lawsuit against the owner of the company. Not the driver, but the owner of the company. Because she wasn't in contact with the driver. She was her dispatch didn't know what they were doing, nor did the managers that she had underneath dispatch. The whole time I'm on the phone and I'm reaching out to these people, she's right there listening. She's hearing, and she's like, these conversations are going nowhere. Who's going to come get the van? Who's going to help you? And I was like, damn, nobody's going to help. You just ate SOL. You know what I mean? So the whole point of this is anytime that I'm about to make progress, and this is a pattern of harassment and torture via space weapons, and the government constantly interrupting my life and forcing obstacles, destroying vehicles, destroying plans. They make sure that they destroy any opportunities that I have to prosper or progress. Like I stated in previous videos, there's only 9.6 to 10% of black men in America that have their master's degree. It'll be easy for me to get my master's degree. I would become a part of that 9.6. It wouldn't be bragging right. It would be bragging rights, but they're scared of powerful, intelligent people. So The United States government, the FBI, CIA, DARPA, the military, they're going to do everything in their power to make sure that I never get to that next step. Anytime I'm right at the point of getting to that next step, they do everything in their power to stop that. That includes weight loss, that includes being healthy, that includes being financially stable, that includes being educated, that includes moving on with my life and prospering. Once you're blacklisted, once you're targeted by the United States government, once you figure out a way to survive, which I have, and once you're documenting, they want you dead. But because, and this is where the their religious part comes in, any military personnel can come with a sniper rifle and just boom, it'll be done. They are always tracking me, illegally monitoring me, and constantly harassing me. Um, but they won't do that because it's a ritual. It's humiliation ritual. Like I said, illegal monitoring, tracking, and covert harassment via covert weapon systems, direct energy weapons, illegal monitoring via satellite, all of it. They have the nanotechnology. They don't want this technology exposed. They don't want my story told, but it's being constantly documented. Constant patterns of every time I'm about to cross a threshold into progress, they make sure that something happens every single time. And it just doesn't stop. So I have to document this because this is the second incident on this job in this vehicle where the car just seemingly broke down at one of the most inconvenient times, especially when I'm about to progress and cross that threshold. And that's it.